today's video is a delight for you like it was for me. I have been wanting to try this product out for so many months. The Luminous Eye Corrector was new for 2024, if I'm correct. And the DRMTLGY Matte Universal Tinted Moisturizer, y'all have been asking me what I think about this and if the shade is good for my very fair skin. So that's what today's video is. Hi, I'm Sean, Melanoma Mom. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, like this video if you find value in it. I do weekly sunscreen reviews to help save you money and find the sunscreen that works for your skin. Let's pop into the wear test and then I'll circle back around for my final thoughts after wearing these for a week. New sunscreen day. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's been years since I've tried any DRMTLGY product. So I picked up the DRMTLGY Matte Universal Tinted Moisturizer SPF 46. Hopefully this will work for my skin. I also picked up the brand new Luminous Eye Corrector SPF 41. Did this come in shades? Yeah, probably. In the shade Fair, it looks like. So we're going to test out both of these today. I have prepped my skin. It is a very cold day in South Carolina. Oh, they put a ton of plastic. So I used a hydrating toner. I will link these down below in the description box. And I used a gel conditioning milk as my moisturizer, because I was feeling dry here and here. It's just dry with the heat on. This sunscreen has matte packaging, interesting. White, it's 1.7 fluid ounces, even though this bottle is huge. Most sunscreens have 1.7 fluid ounces. This one is attempting to appear like it has more in it than it does. My guess is it's only about half full. Has a pump. This is a hybrid sunscreen with 12% zinc oxide and 7.5% octinoxate, meaning I will not be able to put this around my eyes. I get stinging and burning when octinoxate is in a product, so I won't be using that. Let me find my 1/4 teaspoon here. All right, let's see what this looks like on my hand first. Okay, it's a little thick. It doesn't come out evenly. Hopefully it won't feel thick. What do I feel about that tint? I don't know. It could be too dark for me again. So that was the problem I had with the Universal sunscreen when they first came out years ago. One, it was too hydrating for my skin. I have a whole review video on that one. And two, the tint was too dark. So Universal tint only works for a small range of people. Feels very nice going on. It feels like a medium weight moisturizer. It's not thin, but it's not super thick either. It doesn't feel sticky. It feels like it's gliding on very smoothly. On the bottle, it doesn't say that it's water resistant, but it also, you know how like if it's not water resistant, it'll say like, make sure you wear a water resistant sunscreen before getting in the water. And it doesn't say that, so this is too dark for me, isn't it? Yes, and it feels a little gritty. Does anybody else feel that? Does anybody else have that experience of it feeling gritty? I still have this much left, so you can see the line. As long as it doesn't oxidize, I might be able to blend it out when I blend it down my neck. But I typically don't like to carry a tinted sunscreen down my neck because then it gets all over my shirt line. I am going to do that today, that's why I wore black, but typically I will put another sunscreen that doesn't have a tint on my neck. Did it gather in my eyebrows? A little bit, yeah. I don't know if you can tell. But it did gather at my eyebrows and my hairline. See? And my hairline. But overall, it has a nice, I wouldn't call this a matte finish yet, but it has to dry down. I would say this is definitely a natural leaning soft matte finish. Let me finish putting it on my neck and ears, and I will be right back. It's been 5 minutes. It dried down super fast. As you can see, I carried it down my neckline to try and hide that that it was slightly darker. It does lean a little orange too, just so you know. Let's try this. A lot of you rave about this, the Luminous Eye Corrector. Now, I haven't put sunscreen on the top of my eyes either, so we're gonna put this one all over my eyes. All right, this one also has plastic all over it. All right, beautiful packaging. SPF 41. This one is all mineral, titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. Okay, how does this work? It's an interesting tip there. Okay, let's do it on the back of my hand first. What do I do? Oh, I push it down maybe? Oh, that's kind of clunky. It's like it's got a spring action in there. Okay. Looks like it's gonna be nice. Okay, we're just gonna dab this on. Oh. Okay. That feels this feels matte as well, or like a dry touch, like it's gonna be a dry touch. So this is the shade I wish the sunscreen was. I love using my fingers as my tool. So let's just do this. Oh, that got way too much. A lot comes out of here, y'all. Like a lot. Like you can't control how much comes out. It didn't do any sort of color correcting. Like it didn't cover up my dark circles at all. Can I see if I should build this up here? There's no color correcting going on here at all. I think I'm gonna wear this as my foundation today, although I'm not crazy about the way my under eyes look. I'm gonna finish putting on a full face of makeup. This has dried down. It's not a dry touch. It still feels a little, like slightly tacky. It definitely dried down to a matte finish, but not like a super matte. Like it's not, the lights are still bouncing off my forehead, but it's definitely a matte finish. Definitely still too dark for my skin tone, but I'm gonna see if I can pull it off today. I'll be right back. I'm gonna put a full face of makeup on. All right, I've mostly got my full face on. I did not put foundation. This is still just the sunscreen. I'm putting on my e.l.f. my favorite lip gloss, SPF lip gloss. This is a thick. If you like a thick lip gloss, it's a thick lip gloss. I don't feel like it's sticky. My lips glide smoothly, but it is a thicker. Yeah, my makeup went on well on top of the concealer, but I still have the dark circles, so I definitely need to use a color corrector next time. I don't know why I didn't do that. I think I'm also going to put some blush on really quick. Yeah, I'm just going to use this little e.l.f. monochromatic e.l.f. stick here. I definitely don't need to put bronzer on because that sunscreen is darker. Yeah, I think it looks good. It doesn't feel sticky on my face. Setting down really nicely. It definitely provided coverage, but I think that's because it's a darker universal tint. What do you think? What do you guys think? I'm not sure how I feel about this yet so far. I don't know if you can tell. I'm a little confused by it and not sure how I feel. So I will continue wearing this for the rest of the week. So today I used my Misha BB cream on top of the DRMTLGY Matte Sunscreen, and I feel like it's too mattifying. I added like a glossy highlighter here, but I feel like it definitely, if you like a super matte face, that's what this is. I haven't put any lip on yet, but yeah, I don't like it super matte. Interesting. It's not usually a problem I have. Okay, this is like day 4 or 5 of wearing this. I actually like this concealer, like the actual formula of it, better when I'm wearing a sunscreen that actually matches my skin tone. I've got the Todi Solera Mineral, and then I've got the Misha BB Cream Foundation. And so because they are the correct shade for my skin tone, this doesn't make my under eyes look sickly. I also used the Bobbi Brown color corrector in the corner of my eyes to help reduce the blue. And I think it looks so much better because there's not such a high contrast. Whereas, you know, when I use this, it's so much darker, 2 or 3 shades darker than my skin tone. Maybe not 2 or 3, maybe, yeah, it's about 2. That the contrast between the two is pretty bad. But right now I'm setting everything with some matte powder, so. Anyways, I like the formula of this. I don't like the component and how it comes out. Okay. Let's start with the DRMTLGY Matte Universal Tinted SPF 46. I love that it's SPF 46. I love that it's a hybrid sunscreen. You get the best of both worlds. Typically you get a smoother formulation with a hybrid sunscreen. This one was a little gritty. Was this gritty for anyone else? Or maybe is it pilling up on my skin? I don't know. Every time it comes out, it feels a little gritty to me. I love that it has 12% zinc oxide, 7.5% octinoxate. However, the octinoxate does sting and burn my eyes. My eyes are just sensitive to that chemical UV filter, so I couldn't put it around my eyes. And that's where the LUMINOUS eye corrector came in handy. I love that this retails for only $20 for 1.7 fluid ounces. That's kind of a mid-range price point. I do think that this bottle should be smaller because I think the bottom half of this is completely empty. Like, I think the product's only in the top half, just because it feels unbalanced in my hand. The tone was definitely off for me. On their website, they list 4 reasons people love this matte tinted SPF. And number 4 is the sheer color coverage. This hydrating SPF is tinted just enough to blend with all skin tones and provide sheer shine reducing coverage. I don't think you can make that claim. I think that is misleading, especially when you only show 4 mid-range skin tones on your website. Sunscreen companies can do better. Don't say universal when it's not universal. This will not work for those with dark skin. In any of the ranges of dark skin, I don't think this works. You could, like I did the one day, I pulled it all the way down my neck, but then you're gonna have sunscreen. It's definitely gonna rub off on your clothes. So I would have to stop here, and then I would have to have a different sunscreen, which doesn't match. Or put a foundation on top. Now, I typically love a natural leaning matte, natural leaning glowy sunscreen formula. This one was too matte for my skin under foundation. It definitely has the oil absorbing properties. It says the second reason that people love this sunscreen is that it's oil absorbing and shine free finish. Oily skin, don't like the dewy look. This was made for you. Absorb excess oil and eliminate shine. And that's exactly what it does. This was not to my preference, but if you don't like that shine and you need something matte, this one might be for you. For that reason, also because of the color, it doesn't build well on my skin. So if I just wore this for the day and then I reapply in 2 hours, the tint just gets darker and more orange. So it's not a sunscreen that I can build up because the color also builds up, if that makes sense. I do agree with the company that it's made better suited for oily skin people. They go over in their key facts that it has light sheer coverage compared to traditional foundations, but this isn't a foundation. So I don't know why they're comparing it to foundations, because further down in their key facts in black font, it says, this is not full coverage makeup. It's not meant to be. It's supposed to have a soft, velvety, soft focus finish to enhance your natural skin tone and protect it from sun damage. It definitely did not enhance my natural skin tone. Again, if you are the 4 shades that they show on these 4 beautiful models on their page, you might be thinking I'm a little too harsh. If you can't tell, this is a soapbox of mine. Then this sunscreen probably looks absolutely gorgeous on you if you have oily skin or are these exact 4 shades on these models. Anybody on the outside of these other, I would skip this. There are better tinted matte sunscreens out there that come in a range of shades. do better. Dermatology, please come out with a range of shades for us, please. Other highlight ingredients that I think are great ingredients to have in a sunscreen are niacinamide, vitamin E, hyaluronic acid. I'm not sure what knotweed extract does, but it sounds good. All right, let's move on to the Luminous Eye Corrector SPF 41 because there's something you need to know about this that I made an incorrect assumption when I was trying this out. And there's also some incorrect information about this on the website. There are things that I absolutely love about this Luminous Eye Corrector, but I want to correct one thing is I thought it was supposed to be a concealer and it is not, okay? It says that it corrects and brightens dark circles, but it is not a concealer. It does come in 4 shades, which fantastic. Let's do this one in at least 4 shades as well. And I do think the lightest shade did work for my skin tone. Now you saw these two together did not work. It actually made me look sickly under my eyes when I used these together because this was too dark for me. So when I tested this out with other sunscreens and with foundations that match my skin tone better, I loved this formula. It says it replenishes hydration, plumps up fine lines and wrinkles. I didn't experience any plumping, but honestly, I didn't expect that. It does go on very smoothly. I do feel like it is full coverage. It's great for sensitive eyes. I had no burning, no stinging. Overall, I really loved the formula. Now, there were some things that I did not enjoy, and because of those things, I will not be repurchasing. The main thing is the applicator. Now, on their website, they say don't over apply. Use just half a pump for both eyes and a little goes a long way. I don't know how you do just half a pump because the applicator wants you to pump all the way down. It's hard to get just half a pump because I do agree that too much product comes out of here. It is this kind of a tip. I would not use this to apply. And on their website, they said you were supposed to blend it out with your fingertips, which I agree. That was definitely the way to go. But I think that product is waste because of this applicator. It's clunky, to be honest. I don't believe that this is a metal tip here. And so I think it's plastic. And so it doesn't provide the cooling. You know, normally if you have a metal applicator and you kind of smooth it on your eyes, you'll get a cooling sensation. I'm fairly certain. I could be wrong, but it feels like plastic to me and I did not find it cooling under the eyes. So I'm not quite sure why they put it in this kind of applicator. That's confusing to me. Again, the product is only halfway up because it feels off balanced in my hand. I can tell that the bottom half of this is empty. Now they go on their website, it tells you how it differs from a concealer. They actually have a whole section. It says that it's a color corrector specifically designed not to blend into the complexion, but to cancel out bluish tones. Do you see the problem with this statement? I have blue veins in here, bluish tones, blue veins, okay? I typically use a color corrector. I typically use the Bobbi Brown one, which is a peachy tone. This right here did not cover up those bluish tones at all. It did not color correct for me. It honestly made it look a little green. I don't think that's what they were going for. I still had to use this with a color corrector. But I typically do, when I'm using a concealer or a product as a concealer, I have to put a color corrector like the Bobbi Brown pot and then cover it with a concealer. This to me is a sunscreen first, and it is tinted because you don't want that white cast. So that is how I view this product. It says it doesn't settle into fine lines, no cakey under eyes, smooth consistently, and blends easier. It depuffs tired eyes with a cooling tip applicator. Again, no cooling tip applicator. I did find that it blends easy. It is thick, so it does take a lot of padding to get it in, but that wasn't necessarily a negative. I didn't notice any creasing in my under eyes. I did experience creasing on the top of my lids, but that's typical. I typically have creasing up there. The price point is expensive for this. It's expensive. This is retails for $44. So I would pass. Honestly, I'd pass on both of these. Just because these did not work to my preference doesn't mean that they aren't the perfect sunscreen for you. Today's a great day to wear sunscreen. I will finish using this one up. This one I will be passing on.